I never thought my life could collapse with just a few words written on paper. But it did. It was a quiet morning, the kind where the world feels calm, where you expect nothing more than coffee and silence. I walked into the kitchen and saw it, just a folded note on the table, my wife's handwriting. At first, I thought it might be a reminder, maybe something about groceries or a message that she had gone to see her sister. But the moment I touched it, something inside me sank. My fingers trembled as if my body already knew the truth before my eyes read it. The note said, "Don't look for me. I need freedom." That was it. No explanation, no goodbye, just a demand for freedom, as if our years together were a cage she needed to escape. I read it once, twice, 10 times. The words burned into me. Don't look for me. She didn't want me to fight for her, didn't want me to chase her down, didn't want me to ask why. And for some reason, I obeyed. I froze. I didn't call her. I didn't call her family. I didn't drive around the city searching for her. Instead, I sat in that kitchen chair, staring at the note like it might somehow change its message if I kept looking. Hours passed, but the note didn't change. And neither did my reality. By evening, I did something I never imagined doing in my life. I called a lawyer. I filed for divorce. My hands shook as I signed the papers, my heart screaming at me to stop, to wait, to give her time. But my mind felt paralyzed. I thought, if she wanted freedom, then I would give it. Maybe it was pride, maybe it was shock, maybe it was self-preservation. All I know is I froze everything inside me before it could shatter completely. But here's the thing, they say time heals. But at first, time only tortures you. The bed at night became a battlefield. Her pillows smelled like her for weeks, and every time I turned my head, I reached out to touch her only to find emptiness. My chest tightened, my breath caught, and sometimes I cried so quietly that even I could barely hear it. I thought about her constantly. The day we first met replayed in my mind like an old film. She was at a bookstore, standing in the poetry section. She held a book I loved, and I made some clumsy comment just to talk to her. She laughed. That laugh, it wasn't just sound, it was warmth, it was light, it was everything I didn't know I needed. That moment turned into coffee. Coffee turned into long walks turned into love, and love turned into vows. On our wedding day, I remember her walking down the aisle. She wore the simplest dress, but to me, she looked like a vision. Her eyes locked on mine, and I thought, this is it. This is forever. That memory is carved in my heart, and for years, it fueled me. We weren't perfect, but we were us. We had our little fights, our differences, but always we came back to each other. Or so I thought. I started asking myself, when did she stop coming back? When did she start slipping away? Was it during those silent dinners, when we both stared at our phones instead of at each other? Was it the nights she turned her back in bed, saying she was tired? Was it when she stopped laughing at my jokes? Or when I stopped noticing her sadness? The note didn't tell me when it all began. It only told me when it ended. I kept going through her things, her drawer, her books, her favorite scarf. Each one felt like a knife. Sometimes, I wanted to burn it all, to erase her from my space. Other times, I held on to them like lifelines, scared that if I let go, I'd forget the sound of her voice, the curve of her smile. One night, I opened my laptop and searched her name online. I told myself I wouldn't, but I did. And there she was, a picture, smiling, her hair flying in the wind, her arm around another man. That picture broke me more than the note did. Freedom, it turned out, wasn't just about space. It was about someone else. I slammed the laptop shut, my chest burning with a mix of rage and sorrow. Was I a fool all along? Did she lie when she whispered she loved me? Or did she mean it once, and then stop? Which is worse, to be lied to, or to be loved and then discarded? I wanted to hate her. Truly, I did. But I couldn't. My heart, stubborn and fragile, still loved her, even as my mind begged me to stop. I sat there whispering into the dark, words she would never hear. Why wasn't I enough? What did I do wrong? My friends noticed I wasn't the same. My parents asked questions. All I could say was, she left. I couldn't bear to explain the note, the betrayal, the way my heart collapsed. People mean well, but their pity feels like poison. So I carried it mostly alone. But life doesn't pause for heartbreak. Bills needed paying. Work still called. The days marched forward, pulling me with them whether I wanted or not. Slowly noticed changes. I didn't cry every night anymore. Some mornings, I even laughed at something small. Healing came quietly, not as a wave but as little ripples. and then something unexpected happened. Months later, I met someone, not in a dramatic way, not in some sweeping romance. It was quiet, simple. She didn't heal me instantly. She didn't erase the past, but she reminded me that my heart still worked, that I could smile again, that I could care again, that love, fragile as it is, could exist again. Looking back now, I see things differently. Her note wasn't the end of me, though it felt like it at the time. It was the end of a chapter. Brutal, yes. Shattering, yes. But also, somehow, freeing, because while she wanted freedom, I found mine too. Not in running away, but in surviving, in rebuilding, in forgiving myself. I still keep the note. It sits in a drawer, folded and worn, not because I can't let go, but because it reminds me of something powerful. Love isn't guaranteed. Hearts change, promises break, and sometimes the person you thought would walk with you forever will leave without warning. But you can still keep walking. Her freedom cost me everything, but it also forced me to discover who I am without her. And in a strange way, I'm grateful. Not for the pain, not for the betrayal, but for the strength it uncovered in me. So if you've ever been left behind, if you've ever been abandoned without answers, I'll tell you this: you will survive. You will breathe again. You will wake up one day and realize the wound is healing, and eventually, you'll look back not with bitterness, but with a quiet strength. Because freedom isn't only for those who leave, it's also for those who stay behind, who face the emptiness, who rebuild themselves, and who learn to let go. That's the truth I live with now. She wanted freedom, and she took it. But I found mine too. Stay tuned for more stories filled with love, heartbreak, and lessons of life.